The head pastor of Abyssinian Baptist Church in New York City declared war on the Great Depression one Sunday morning in December 1930. More than a quarter of the people in this predominantly black Harlem neighborhood were unemployed, and it sickened him to see such despair. Adam Clayton Powell Sr. was 6'3" and still cut an imposing figure at age 65, and still delivered stem-winder sermons. This one took a half hour to roll off his tongue, enthralling an overflow crowd that spilled from the sanctuary into a basement community room. "The axe is laid at the root of the tree," Powell thundered, paraphrasing the Gospel of Luke. "And this unemployed mass of black men, led by a hungry God, will come to the Negro churches looking for fruit, and finding none will say, 'Cut it down and cast it into the fire.'" Abyssinian was about to open a soup kitchen and launch its own relief fund for those struggling without jobs. The Reverend announced he himself would donate 4 months' salary in order to set a righteous example. His flock responded with unexpected gusto. Unbidden, many of them got up and walked to the front of the church, digging deep into their pockets and filling the collection plates. One woman handed over her pocketbook containing a week's pay. All told, the deacons counted $1,500 in cash and pledges. With characteristic immodesty, Powell pronounced it the most impressive climax to a sermon I had ever witnessed. That was also unlike anything Dietrich Bonhoeffer had ever seen, and he'd come a long way to be part of it. Bonhoeffer was a German theologian on a fast track, having earned his bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees by the time he was 21. He then briefly worked as an assistant pastor at a Lutheran church in Barcelona. Now 24 years old and fresh from finishing a post-doctoral degree in systematic theology at the University of Berlin, he wasn't old enough yet to be ordained in Germany. While biding his time, he accepted a 2-semester fellowship at New York's Union Theological Seminary, a cradle of progressive Christian scholarship. In September, Bonhoeffer had sailed west to America on a ship named Columbus. Union Theological Seminary abutted the campus of Columbia University, 2 miles and several income tax brackets from Abyssinian Baptist Church. Rather than attend nearby Riverside Church, a soaring neo-Gothic replica of France's Chartres Cathedral paid for in part by Moneybags parishioner John D. Rockefeller, Bonhoeffer chose to hike over to West 138th Street, to Abyssinian Baptist. Franklin Fisher, a black Union theological seminarian from Alabama, suggested he come take a look. Bonhoeffer not only wound up worshiping there, but also hit it off with the Reverend Powell, and was soon teaching Sunday school, making pastoral home visits, and leading a weekly women's Bible study group. He considered this personal acquaintance with Negroes as valuable a learning experience as any of his seminary classes. Powell didn't find religion until his late 20s. As a boy, Bonhoeffer already knew he wanted to be a minister. At 15, he was studying Hebrew, Greek, Latin, and French. His siblings teased him about his career choice, saying organized religion was dull and antiquated. Dietrich replied, "In that case, I shall reform it." He wasn't joking. He and his twin sister Sabina were the 6th and 7th youngest in a line of 8 children, raised by affluent, well-connected parents who made a point of not frequenting church. Karl Bonhoeffer was chairman of the Department of Psychiatry and Neurology at Charité Hospital, the largest teaching hospital in Berlin, a traditionalist who wanted nothing to do with Sigmund Freud and his psychoanalytic bunkum. Paula Bonhoeffer, a college graduate, homeschooled all her children for their first few formative years. "Germans have their backbones broken twice in life," she often said. First in the schools, secondly in the military.